Programming on 90.7 WKGC and the Commodore Sports Network is sponsored by Sweet Bay. Sweet Bay is a bayfront village in Panama City that features parks, walking trails to the water, a future town center, and more. A community connected at the water's edge, Sweet Bay. More information about Sweet Bay online at sweetbayfl.com or 844-35-SWEET.
Welcome, Commodore fans, to Coach's Corner, a production of Gulf Coast State College's digital media program. I want to thank the folks at Sweet Bay for being title sponsor of Coach's Corner. I got with me today Coach Phil Gaffney. We're going to talk about two games we played last week, two big games coming up this week. Commodores right now, Coach, 15-10 overall, 4-5 in the panel conference, and ranked 8 in the state coaches poll. So I guess we'll dive right in. This was a past week, two big games. Played a third-ranked team, sixth-ranked team in the country, and we'll start with the game that we played on the 2nd of February, Chipola, at Chipola, and we came up short 80-76. First half, they got us 44-37. The second half, we won 39-36, but a close game against a very good basketball team.
Yeah, we were thrilled to death. We went out and played. You know, we had beaten Chipola. They're ranked 6th in the country. Obviously, they're an elite basketball team, and Donnie Tyndall's an elite coach. So it's just a great opportunity. And beating them on the road is extremely difficult to do. I think it's once in the last 2 years they may have lost. And so we thought, you know, let's go and give it a good try. Refereeing never determines the game, but we were disappointed. You know, Chipola shot 50 free throws in the game, and I've never seen that, that one team would shoot 50 free throws. Now, we're not the best defensive team in the country, but 50 free throws in a game is very hard to swallow. Again, we didn't shoot ball well. Credit their great defense, and they did a great job against us, and tough 4-point loss on the road, and we just have to take it. But the 50 free throws were something that, you know, I don't know that you can overcome that in a game.
And when you talk about free throws, in the stat sheet it says they were 25 or 43. Now, that depends on where they're at.
The book had them for 50.
Okay.
And so I don't know that our stats in the book were exactly
that all lined up. But in this case, if we look at the other side, you know, it looks like we missed 10 free throws ourselves.
Well, we always do. It's just who we are. We miss a lot of free throws. We're that kind of team. We don't, you know, make a lot of shots, and it's unfortunate for us, you know, that we don't. Just got to do a better job. We just got to do a better job of shooting the free throws, and it hurt us again on Saturday. The whole year we've been a extremely poor shooting team. If we were just halfway decent, you know, we might be about 22, 23-2 right now, 22-2, and maybe ranked top 2 or 3 in the country. But we can't shoot free throws, and so it's something that's not good, and we got to get better. And if we're going to do it, it's got to be now, because if we're going to go in the state tournament and win games, and make the state tournament win games, and make the national tournament win games, you got to make free throws. You got to make free throws down the stretch, and we continue at the most crucial times to not just miss one. We'll just miss 2 or 4 right in a row.
Well, there were several times that Forte missed 2 in a row, and then missed some singles, and then some other players in there, depending on who goes to the line. Now, I will brag on German, though. Coach, he was 3 or 4 from the free throw line.
Yeah, it's amazing, and he's been a 30% shooter, just a awful, just a, you know, bad 4th grader, bad 3rd grader type deal. He's got to get better. All these guys got to step up, and it's the time of year to do it. Now you have to do it. But let's give Chipola credit. Their zone is outstanding. They have a nice press. They're well coached. They do what their coach wants them to do. Donnie Tyndall gets them to play hard, do what he wants, and they've done a great job. And they're the reason we lost. They're great defense, and then they obviously scored a lot of points. They did a good job transition, did a good job in the half court, and we've got to give them credit.
And you talk about scoring for a little bit. Now, Watson was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. When we see him go to the line, we feel pretty good.
We want him to go to the line all the time. Because when he's going, we're doing pretty good. It's when everybody else is going, and it's a couple of the other guys. Him and Pierre-Louis, we want those guys to live at the line.
Yeah, he was perfect. He only got 2 free throw attempts, but he knocked down both of those. But, Watson with 25 for the game, which he led all scoring, both sides.
We wasted his great effort. If you're going to beat a top team in the country, one guy can't score. You got to have 3 guys go off. 3 guys got to go and give you strong efforts offensively, and we just didn't get those efforts. We just didn't get them. We missed a lot of easy shots we need to make, and the big factor is they dominated on the glass. They out-rebounded us by 24, dominated us. It was embarrassing. All their points came point blank from the basket, and then when they did hit the threes, they were off of the kickouts. So they do a great job of getting the offensive board, kick it right out to a 3, and those guys are unguarded because everybody's going to rebound the ball. So when they get a kick out 3, it's the best, highest percentage 3 in basketball is the offensive rebound kick out, and they decimated us on the boards, just decimated us. And give them credit that what a great job they did, and what a great job their coach did, coaching them, getting to play that way.
So, and for them, we got to talk a little bit about Tomlin for them. 17 points, 12 rebounds, and he's just so quick and hard to guard.
Yeah, a kid from New York. He's a tough match for everybody, especially us. He's a really good basketball player.
So he plays well. Then we'll move on. We had the Raiders of Northwest Florida State College here Saturday night to play them. Came up short 79-74. First at half it was 43-35. We outscored them in the second half 39-36. But these games we're just right there. Possession here, change, take away a mental mistake, get a loose ball, knock down a few free throws. And we're on the winning side of that.
Yeah, there you go again. Shooting 50% from the three-point free throw line is just unacceptable. You can't do it. Down the stretch, missed 4 big free throws last 5 minutes of the game. And to be honest with you, I think we're up with like 6 to go. We just don't play well the last 5 minutes, last 2 minutes, last 4 minutes, last 1 minute. Game's on the line. We got Pierre-Louis with a wide-open 3. And he's a great gamer, and he also had a little 10-footer uncontested straight on. Didn't get those. Alex Matthews, uncontested 3. Left corner, no one near him. Again, kick out 3 off of a rebound, offensive putback rebound, and just missed it. Torres Watson, who's been dominating for us this year, had a little righty jump hook in the paint. And then, Teja with missed free throws, and Chase Forday with the missed free throws. We had great shots at the end of the game, and just didn't make them. That's all. Just didn't go in the basket, and then Simeon had an uncontested layup. They had conceded it. They just were letting him go. No one was near him, and he just couldn't make a layup directly under the basket. So one of those guys had to make a shot, and we just couldn't do it. We fouled at the end, and ended up being a 5-point game. And give Greg Heyer credit. What a great coach he's done. I thought I was a big deal my first year of winning the Panhandle. First time they won it in 48 years, and I did it my first year, big deal. Well, Donnie Tyndall at Chipola won it in his first year, and Greg Heyer has went through the league like a hot knife through butter. He has just dominated. Northwest has dominated the league. And he's dominated his schedule. What a great job he's done. So he's just an elite coach with a great Division I background like Donnie Tyndall. And Greg Heyer's just got his team playing great, and they're doing wonderful. So we're catching up to them. First time at home, they beat us pretty good. Second time at their place, we gave them a good game for 33 minutes. And now this time, we gave them a good game for 39 minutes. But Greg Heyer's just out-coached me. He's just done a better job of preparing his team. And so I got to do a better job of getting our guys to shoot free throws better. And then, last 2 minutes of the game, we got to make shots. You have to make shots. And, you recruit guys to your college to be guys. They're the guys. At the end of the game, LeBron James going to make shots. Kobe Bryant was going to make shots. Michael Jordan was going to make shots. Steph Curry's going to make shots. Who's going to take those last 3 or 4 shots in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game? Who's going to step up? And we haven't had that guy take over a game yet. And we're going to have to do that. Someone's going to have to be our guy, and that's who we're going to focus on, and they have to carry us. And haven't had that happen yet. Pierre-Louis certainly did. against Chipola. So we've beaten numerous nationally ranked teams this year, but the only top 10 team we beat is Chipola. And Pierre-Louis was the guy we went to at the end of the game, and he dominated. So we got to find that guy at the end of the game who's going to, hey, coach, give me the ball. I'm going to take the last 4 shots. I'm going to hit 3 of the 4. We're going to win.
And in this case, he had good shots. Ball halfway in the cylinder and just came back out.
Great.
So.
We had phenomenal shots.
So.
We had uncontested shots, and we just didn't get it done.
And in this case, if we look quickly, Watson led the Commodores with 17, Wilson with 10, Pierre-Louis with 11, Matthews with 11, everybody else in single digits for scoring for there. And Watson has really come on this year. I've watched him just get better and better and better and better and better every game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a true freshman.
Well,
he's coming in here and he's just dominating, and so he's stepped up. And you talk about being one of the guys. He's one of the guys. Those 3 or 4 guys who really step up. He's been tremendous. We really need, if we're going to beat a great Greg Heyer coach team, you're going to need Pierre-Louis to step up and get 20, Watson to get 20, and then one other guy to really, Chase to have a great game, or Simeon to have a great game, or Alex or Trayshawn, or somebody. Good news. Somebody else has got to have a great game. Otherwise, you're just not going to do it.
And if you look at it, in a close game like that, German missed 2, Forte missed 5, Watson only missed 1, Hall missed 2, and Matthews missed 1. So, enough free throws.
Well, and it's the time too. It's that last 5 minutes when you're missing all these free throws. You can't the last 5 minutes. You might miss them early in the game. The last 5 minutes of the game, you can't just miss 3 or 4 in a row. It doesn't work like that. You can do that, but you can't be a top 5 team. And Northwest has everything. They have size, they have athleticism, they have quickness. They play D. They're well coached. They get out in transition. I don't know what their weakness is. They might have one. I just don't know what it is.
So in this case, let's talk about the panel conference standings right quick. Northwest, as you mentioned, 8-1. Chipola 6-3. Gulf Coast 4-5. Tallahassee 3-6, and Pensacola State College now 1-7. So that's how the conference is shaking out. And truthfully, everybody's still in contention. If you do the numbers, and if some teams win out, they go. So we go to Pensacola Wednesday night, which is going to be a tough place to play. We beat them there 81-68 first game. At our place, we had to win it in overtime, 67-63. They just went over and knocked off Tallahassee. And now we got to go to their place.
And Pete, again, this league, Pete is Penna's great basketball coach, just knows the game inside and out. His teams have gotten better. The one thing I'll say about that court is we like that court. We won 4 games on that court. We beat Pete on that court, and we beat 3 nationally ranked teams on that court. We're 4-0 over there, and the state tournament's going to be held at Northwest Florida, and Jamie, Pierre-Louis, and we're 10-2 on that court. So we got to feel good about going into Pensacola to play. But overall, we feel good in that, one of my players mentioned to me yesterday, Coach, we went out, we come in second place. We'll beat Chipola twice. If we win out, we'll be in second place. And what a great way to be. If we could just win these last 3, win out, and come in second place, I would feel great. I'd feel really wonderful about that. So that's our goal right now. Let's win out. Let's play at a high level. Let's make the state tournament. And then once we make the state tournament, anything can happen. And we're not, we respect everybody, but we're not afraid of anybody at all. We'll be excited to play whoever we get a chance to play. But got to make the state tournament. We made it 2 straight years, our first 2 years here. You got to make it this year. And to make it, you're going to have to win 2 or 3 games. And we know that, and there's no question about it. So let's get on our job. Let's play well. Let's go to Pensacola, get a win, and then come back home, play Chipola, finish out at Tally, and then our season's done.
So for Coach Phil Gaffney, I'm Jamie Spaxley. We'll be right back, Commodore fans, with Coach Rory Kuhn, and talk about how the Lady Commodores are doing on the Commodore Sports Network.
Programming on 90.7 WKGC and the Commodore Sports Network is sponsored by Sweet Bay. Sweet Bay is a bayfront village in Panama City that features parks, walking trails to the water, a future town center, and more. A community connected at the water's edge, Sweet Bay. More information about Sweet Bay online at sweetbayfl.com or 844-35-SWEET.
Welcome back, Commodore fans. Coach Rory, Kuhn, and I are going to talk about Commodores, how they did last week. Game coming up this week. Lady Commodores right now, 16-8 overall, 5-4 in the Panhandle Conference, ranked number 3 in the state coaches poll, and ranked number 22 in the NJCA national poll. Now, both of those polls will come out after we shoot this session, but in this case, that's where we're at. And we had 2 big games this week, Coach.
Sure did.
Back to back, and last week I said, Coach, all you got to do is just win 2 of them.
Yeah.
You got half of them.
Got half of them.
And did a nice job. So we'll start out. We went to Chipola, and Chipola is a tough place to go play.
Oh yeah.
Great team up there, great tradition. They play hard, and we came up short, 63-51. First quarter they got us. We kind of got in a hole. They jumped out. They scored 24-11. We won 15-14 second, 17-13 third, and then they won 12-8 to finish out for 63-51 loss. Thoughts on the game, Coach?
Yeah, we, I knew we didn't have Anaya that game, with her knee. Also, I didn't count on not having Morgan either. With, I think she played 11 minutes with the foul trouble she was in, and to their credit though, like you said, it's a real tough place to play. And when you have a lot of freshmen, and like I talked about before, not playing true college basketball games in a true, college environment. That's kind of what that was over there. And, when some calls aren't going your way and, the crowd's kind of into it, and, we just struggled. I mean, I think that was definitely our worst game of the year.
And so, and like you said, Morgan picked up fouls quickly. Personal foul, stat-wise, they called 19 on Gulf Coast and 6 on Chipola. And the style of defensive play, they really get in your grill. They go hard and do that. So in that case, that kind of makes that an interesting stat there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting stat, and one you don't really want to be on the receiving end of too often. But they took us out of what we wanted to do really, and it wasn't our night. We just couldn't get it into a flow. I think in the third quarter we cut it to 4 points, and then about 6, maybe 8 going back and forth. But even with that being said, as bad as we played, we were still kind of right there with the chance to maybe even win the game or make it a real interesting game at that point. Tough road win, tough road loss, and games on the road in this conference are always tough.
Now, at this stage, one of the things we were pretty evenly matched up on, not stat-wise before the game, rebounds.
Yeah.
They had 31, we had 30.
Yeah.
That's a good effort from a short bench for you, because we're playing a short bench with some players out and Morgan picking up fouls, and you had to play around that foul situation early in that first half.
Yeah, and that was the dicey part, and obviously what becomes magnified is when you don't have your 15 points a game from Anaya Boyd because she's not playing. So obviously that would have helped, and like I've talked about, like other people need to step up when that happens.
Well, and if you look at that, Morgan Wagyu, we're going to add that to there. She only has 6 points for the game.
Yeah.
Average is 20.
20, yeah. That was her low of the year.
And so in that case, and if we look at that, Downs is the only one in double digits with 15. Now, she had a pretty decent night for you, but, Smith with 3, Miller with 2, Cracknell with 4, and Devate with 1, Al-Hassan with 7, Charles with 4, McCain. But some of that, you have to give them credit. Their defense is just so intense that it takes you out of your offensive game there. And if we go down and look, now I don't believe this, but this is what was printed on the national site, so I have to believe they didn't shoot a free throw the whole night.
That they didn't?
according to this sheet, they didn't shoot a free throw the whole night.
I can't imagine that one being right. Yeah.
So in other words, somehow or another, I don't think that's true. In our case, we were 13 or 23. We struggled from the line.
Yeah, we struggled from the line.
We were 56.5%. Struggled behind the arc, 2 of 14.
Yeah.
For 14.3%. 15 of 54 for 33%. On the other hand, they only shot 2 threes according to this. Made one of them, 50%. And they were 31 or 43 from the floor, 72%. You're going to win games.
Yeah, they're going to win
like
games.
That.
And their threes, they were wrong. I remember 4 or 5 of them that they hit. So I know.
Well, in this case, I looked at this and I thought, well, this is what's at the national site. So we'll use it.
We'll use it.
We'll go from there. Now, we'll move on.
Yeah.
The Raiders, Northwest Florida State College came in here, ranked 3rd in the country. And we beat them. 58-43. Coach, you actually won all 4 quarters too. 12-9, 15-10, 18-14, 13-10. But we'll jump back to the first quarter. And you could talk about quarters 2 and 3. You held them to 9 points and 10 points a quarter.
Yeah. Our defense was getting after it the other day there. We set up, we watched the film from the last 2 games, and I think personally the girls thought, from the last game that we let that one get away. Like I said, we just ran out of gas. Keontae didn't play. Taylor didn't play. Anaya wound up, hurting her meniscus in that game and playing through it. And we just ran out of gas. And, the girls remembered that, and they really wanted this game. So we went back to the film. We watched some things that we knew we could take care of on the defensive end, and we made that our number 1 priority. And clearly, to their credit, they went out there and took care of business on the defensive end.
Well, also, I can tell you that's probably the best start, intense-wise, being ready for the game.
Yeah.
Also, as soon as they threw that ball up, we played from the tip.
Yeah.
And normally it takes us a little while to get in the game, and sometimes we get behind and have to dig out of a hole.
Yeah.
But I think they did a much better job defending the ball. They were also much better prepared from the tip.
Yeah.
They didn't take a quarter or so to get in the game.
Yeah.
They started right from the tip.
Yeah. And like I said, I think a lot of that is that they knew that they let the last one go and they really wanted this one. So, I think that's kind of the mentality needs to be going forward, that, hey, from the tip, we got to jump on teams. And, kind of like earlier in the year when we had some really good starts and kind of put some teams away. Now, obviously they're number 3 in the country. They're really good. You're not going to put them away. But it helps set a tone, and I think we did that yesterday.
And when you talk about watching the game tape at their place, we were leading in the 4th quarter there. There was some hard contact in there in that 3rd quarter, and I wasn't sure they were going to even be able to start the 4th quarter, and they came out.
Yeah.
But they were definitely banged up a little bit.
We were banged up after that game, so it was nice though to have this time, even though we didn't have Anaya, but we had Keontae back and we had Taylor back, so just having more bodies to be able to, sub at times and Keontae is one of our better defenders, and I thought she did, the one thing you were talking about before with me. I think, Poa, number 12, who's, arguably one of the best players in the country, only had, I think, 2 points she finished with.
Only had 2 points, and that was one of the things I was going to talk about. Played 26 minutes and 2 points.
Yeah.
And I think the first game, she pretty well determined that they were not going to lose.
Yeah.
And in that second game, she makes them go.
Yeah.
And she played 26 minutes, had 2 points.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, plus the other thing that we got to talk a little bit about, Coach, we out-rebounded them 34-20.
That's the key right there.
And so
one and done. Get on the glass.
So in that case, that is a good stat.
I'll take that stat any day.
If we can out-rebound the other team, we're going to win some games.
Yeah, and that was like the first time we played Chipola, same thing. We out-rebounded them, out-rebounded them. I mean, that usually leads to success.
And so then if we compare shooting, we shot 63% from the free throw line, which is nothing to brag about, 17 of 27. But they shot 6 of 13. They were 46% from the free throw line. And if we come down and compare shooting from behind the arc, 7 of 13 for 53%, going to win a lot of games if you can hit the long balls. They were 5 of 16 for 31%.
Yeah.
From the floor, 17 of 40 for 42%. they was 16 of 52 for 30. So if you could keep long ball and from the floor going like that, Coach, we'd do well.
I mean, shoot, and we were so into that game and knowing the personnel. I think the kid who hit 3 threes on the year, you know, Inez Piper was shooting 15% from 3 for the year. You know, so you take 1 or 2 of those away and it becomes a 20-point victory, you know. So girls were bought in. They paid attention to the scouting report, made the adjustments, and they really wanted it.
And now Wagyu back up to 19 points a game.
Her
do
normal,
that. But on the other hand, Smith with 16 points, she's also another player for you coaches, getting better and better every night.
As I think I said to you last week or whatever it was in one of our games, I said she's growing up, you know, right before our eyes. Did a great job handling the ball, getting to the free throw line. She was 10 for 11 from the line. Attacking the rim. You know, so she's growing up, getting better, and everybody else is kind of, you know, stepping up and settling in. You know, I thought Ava was really good, down low, battling. You know, being able to switch out and guards and rebound. And, you know, Jalea McCain, again, came in off the bench and gave us some really good minutes, I thought, in the first half and a little bit in the second half.
And I think McCain's improving.
She's getting better.
Better every game when you look at what she's doing for you in there. So they're working and getting better. And that's the thing you want to do, is to continue to get better. You don't want to jail too early in this thing.
No.
Or peak out. So on the other hand, you don't want to run out of games before you get there. So
try and come together at the right time.
And I pick on you a lot about this. We went from possibly no team in July to just meet the number 3 ranked team in the country. So we're right in the mix of
not bad.
Let's talk about the panel conference standings right now. This thing is getting interesting. Northwest Florida State College 7-2, Chipola 6-3, Gulf Coast 5-4, Pensacola 4-4, and Tallahassee 0-9. The interesting thing is Pensacola, that's where we go Wednesday night. That's going to be a big game.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It is interesting, as you said, through the whole conference, right? You got Northwest playing Chipola, and then you got us playing Pensacola. You know, so Northwest and Chipola, you know, depending on what happens there, could be a tie for first, right? I mean, we can create some space, or we could, you know, go back and forth with Pensacola. You don't know. And then everybody else has to play each other again, you know, Pensacola, Northwest, Chipola, us. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. As I kept telling me, it's one game at a time, and we just got to get the next one.
And if you look at Pensacola's schedule, they got 4 games left.
4,
And so we'll play them, and they have to go to Chipola and Northwest.
Northwest,
they'll have Pensacola or Tallahassee at home.
Right.
But they've got to go to those 2 places to try to pick up wins. So now we lost to them 72-71 at their place in overtime, and a game we really should have won.
Definitely should have won.
We clock management and taking some shots and doing some things at the end really hurt us there. Now back at our place, we won 72-62. So that one's going to be interesting to see what happens. And right now, there's 4 teams battling for 3 slots.
So always fun, right?
It's always fun.
You know, it's funny. I told the girls yesterday, I said, listen, the hardest part of your season is now. It's harder to win a game in our conference or the state tournament than it would be if you're able to even go to the national tournament. You know, compared to the teams that would be in there, you know, from different parts of the country. That's why this conference is so tough, and you know, got to try and pick up a big road win on Wednesday and go from there.
You could tell them this, Coach, if they win out, it could be the first place team in the conference.
That's the other thing.
Win the panel conference. Just win out.
Just keep winning every game. That's all you got to do.
Win out.
That's all you have to do.
That's why Coach Gaffney and I were talking about. Chase said, hey, if we win out, we second place. We know where we're at. All we got to do is just win out.
As I told him, you control your own destiny. You just got to win.
So in this case, hopefully, we don't have to have somebody else help us.
Right.
And we have
take care of what you can take care of. Control what you can control.
So for Coach Rory Kuhn, I'm James Spaxley. Thanks for watching, Commodore fans, and we'll see you next time on the Commodore Sports Network.